our guest is a beautiful Swiss yodeler. His name is Hans. Welcome, Hans.
Welcome. This is Hans Giovanoli. I'm from Switzerland, and I am from the Alps overlooking Lake Como, and I came to this country in 1952. I had the opportunity to come to this country and be working as a ski instructor and as a baker in the summertime. The yodeling part of me came when I was a young boy up in the Alps. I had to attend goats, we had to attend sheep, and we had to attend cows. And in the evening I had to work and milk the cows. And so I noticed that the ranch hand had yodeled all the time, was singing and yodeling, because they say the cows give more milk when you give a soothing voice. So I start to yodel just like my boss. And I get better as I get along, and as I get older, I get even better yet, I carry a very good voice, and that was part of my being happy up in the Alps, yodeling and listening to my own echo coming back from the mountains. We had sheer cliffs above our village, and there, the yodeling part, they could hear me all the way to Italy. Then I came to this country in 1952. I had a chance to be a ski instructor up in Lake Placid, New York, and the yodeling the Swiss way was always a little bit different than the American yodel, because the American yodel, you don't vibrate your tongue, it comes just from the back of the throat, and the Swiss yodeling is more like a soothing voice, and we call it natural yodel, where you don't have a band or music or accordion players backing you up. You just have to yodel and express yourself, being happy. And in the summertime, I happen to be working in the bakery, in restaurants, hotels, in resort towns. And in wintertime, I was back up in the mountain in Lake Placid, New York, skiing. Well, the only thing I can say is, people say, what's yodeling all about? Yodeling is actually, you express your feelings. You're happy, you let it out. Let the nature listen to your voice, And I notice all the time when I yodel up in the mountain, the cows always looking at you. The sheep always raise their heads. They stop grazing and looking at you, And we used to call the cattle in at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon to be milked, and you yodel to them. They automatically come in, So that's part of my yodeling part. Naturally, I did a little bit of commercial yodeling in this country. I never made actually a record or tape of yodeling, but my own, just my own house recording. It's not the type of yodeling, clarification you have from a studio where you can take all the noise out, everything. You just use yodel, So that's all about yodeling.
You worked with some famous people when you did some commercials on yodeling, didn't you?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I did. I did for Aspen Ski School for the Chamber of Commerce. While I was a ski instructor, I was having movie stars like Jack Palance and Gloria DeHaven and McGuire's sister and Arthur Gottfried and all those people. And it's so funny that whenever I see somebody fell down and always went, well, what happened is the more I yodeled, the more they fell, and then I start to realize I should stop yodeling. And he says, that's why I'm falling, because I want to hear you yodel again. this is a part of the yodeling. It's actually, you have a natural yodel, and then you have a yodel you dance with. You have backup music. You have piano player, accordion player, clarinet players, and they yodel with music. Now mine is strictly natural yodel. No recording, no guitar, nothing. Just be out in the mountain, and you yodel, and you hear the echo come back. That's my satisfaction for yodeling. And I really don't like to yodel indoor. I like to yodel outdoor because I have a strong voice, and if you yodel indoor, it's too much noise. There's no echo either.
Without the echo and without the pleasure of yodeling outdoors, will you please demonstrate to our listening audience just how you yodel?
You mean over the phone?
Oh, yes.
Okay, hold on.
Our listening audience knows that if that reverberates down the canyon, that more than cows and sheep stop and look. All the people stop and look, don't they, Hans?
Oh, they do. You go up the chairlift and you yodel. Like, for instance, in Engelberg, I took some Americans along, and I went up the mountain, and I know exactly where the echo is the best, where there's sheer cliffs along the chairlift. You start yodeling, and here there's hundreds and hundreds of people coming down skiing when I start yodeling, and the echo was just phenomenal. The people all stood still, and they say, more, 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 more. Well, I found out later on that mostly they were all English people in the first place. The Swiss people probably they're used to this kind of yodeling, but the English people they're the ones they really enjoyed it the most.
I've heard you yodel at the Swiss Club, and I have also been very fortunate because I've been able to receive your CDs that you have produced yourself, and they are wonderful. And it's difficult for the radio audience to understand through the fact that I am getting a telephone interview from you just how profound your yodeling is. Please tell us about your homes and your hometown in Switzerland.
Well, my hometown in Switzerland has about 180 people. Probably by now there's about 200. We have 3 hotels. It's right located just about 150 feet away from the Italian border. There's no border crossing at all. It's just that's the end of the world, actually. There's sheer cliffs on both sides. You have to go back to the main road to go down to either to the left to Switzerland, to the right to Italy. It became quite a tourist attraction because they filmed that film Heidi with Shirley Temple up there, and they filmed 2 more other films up there, The Smuggler's Paradise, where the smugglers from Italy and from Switzerland cross each other's borders and do the thing illegal, not dope, it's mostly timed coffee or cigarettes. The Italians like the Swiss cigarettes, so there was a lot of smuggling going on up there. The town has 3 hotels. They're most of the time pretty much full from May till October. They have a tremendous amount of people going up there, mostly all foreigners from Holland, from England, from Germany, from Austria. They always come up there because it's also a hiker's paradise. You can hike from there over the mountain, go all the way down to St. Moritz, that famous ski resort, St. Moritz. But there's a lot of hikers up there. I remember while I was over there, a German fella came. He was all red from sunburn from coming over the mountain. And I said, I nicked my hat and says hello. And he said hello in German. And because I speak Italian in my hometown, so I spoke German to him. He said, how was the beautiful hiking today? Oh, wonderful. But I was disappointed I didn't see any Edelweiss. And he said, well, just go to the cemetery and you watch. But don't pick any. Yeah, the cemetery was just loaded full of Edelweiss. All the graves all had Edelweiss flowers on it. And Edelweiss, it's actually a flower that's protected now for the Swiss natural history. They don't want anybody to pick any Edelweiss flowers. They're protected. So, well, anyway, we are very close to the little town. It's about 4,000 population, St. Moritz. It's right up the road from us. The whole area there. They're not yodeling all that much up there. There's the people there, they don't take up yodeling. The mostly yodeling is really done in the heart of Switzerland, Engelberg, Obwalden, and Sarnen, and that area. That's where all the yodeling groups all come from, natural yodelers, you know. But most of the time, there's all farmers. The farmers are doing the yodeling, really. Yeah, I have all those clubs, yodeling clubs. There's, should we say, 20 to 25 people. They have every year they have a yodeling contest. Who is the best yodeler? Which group is the best yodel? Individual best yodelers, and so on. I never attended those things. I just made a few commercial yodeling, and that's about it. And for my own self, you know. I always thought I was not good enough, but everybody says, you sound just wonderful.
You do. Today, our guest is Hans. Hans is a marvelous Swiss yodeler. Hans grew up in a little town in Switzerland where his family lived for years, where the movie Heidi was filmed. Hans, you actually owned the home that was used for Heidi in the film. Is that not true?
Yeah, I owned the home. I inherited, you know, from my parents. It was built in 1630, and it's still standing today like a castle. Yeah.
Tell us about Swiss construction.
Oh, God Almighty! The building in Switzerland is so. You have to build it strong because it's for century and century. It's going to be standing there forever, you know. In my hometown, all the houses in my hometown, I think there's only 2-3 new ones there, but they're built the same way. The thing is tremendous. The building code is very strict, you know. Like, for instance, I look at my buildings here, and they put 2x4s up for the rafters. Over there, they have beams of 16 to 18 inch thick because the snow has to hold the house together. I mean, the snow cannot collapse the roof, you know. Here it's just, there's no snow here in Eureka, but I'm pretty sure up in the mountains, Squaw Valley and Sun Valley, they have a different code. But the houses are built to last forever over there, really. So my house was built in 1630. Still today, you would think it was built just about 2 weeks ago, the way it looks from the outside. My walls were 16-inch thick. Yeah, rocks and cement, like stucco, and you can see the rocks showing through a little bit. You know, it's not just strictly stucco. You know, it's the beams they're using for the roof and the slate, unbelievable the way it's done, really. And the Italians are known for. We have a lot of Italians, what they call muratori. They do all cement work, you know, with rocks and stone and bricks, and they're about the best builders there are in that kind of area, you know.